Welcome back, UFL fans, spring football fans. Another year of the XFL, the UFL, the USFL. Shields up. It's a big dent in my shield right now. You know, I'm looking forward to kickoff tomorrow, which is about almost 22 hours away now, in hopes that we can start talking about football again. You know, let's talk about what happened this week. I mean, Ken Whisenhunt has taken personal leave from the Memphis Showboats. Now, I was looking forward to this because Ken Whisenhunt was a good coach in the NFL. I mean, he came in an eyelash of winning the Super Bowl with the St. Louis Cardinals. So for him, after what happened last year with the Memphis Showboats, this is a big blow to them. And of course, up in my area, or close to my area, my guy Reggie Barlow has left the DC Defenders. So now we have Jim Turner, the offensive line coach for the Memphis Showboats, has only a few days in his 6-day orientation to turn this team around for opening day on Sunday. I think they play opening day on Sunday. Let me see. Sunday. Yep, they'll be home Sunday against a very tough Michigan Panther team. It's not going to be an easy game for them. And of course, Reggie Barlow, my guy, has gone back to college. He'll be coaching Tennessee State. If that ain't bad enough, he's taking most of the coaching staff with him. That includes my guy Greg Williams on the defensive line, Fred Keist, the offensive coordinator, and also the interim coach, Shannon Harris. This is not the way you want to begin the year in the XFL. I'm sorry, the UFL. No offense, USFL fans. I still love the USFL also. So, how does this affect the team? We're only days away from kickoff. Now, hours away from kickoff. Who knows? I went from being pretty optimistic this year. Now, you know, the Defenders have a good defense that they had the last 2 years. Last year, the offensive line got hurt. Abram Smith went down with a knee injury. I think he's back this year. Jordan Tamu's back. But with Reggie Barlow gone, how does this affect the league? Well, we're going to find out. So the road to St. Louis begins tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time down in Houston. And yes, St. Louis will be hosting the UFL Championship on Father's Day weekend again. Why is that? Because Memphis, Birmingham, Arlington, and Houston, it's too hot that time of year to host a championship game. Which is why I still do not get why they started on March 28th. This should have been a no-brainer. In fact, I'll go a step further. I think we should have started the weekend off from the Super Bowl. After the AFC Championship games, I would have started that weekend. And I would have played Super Bowl weekend. I would have had a Friday game. I would have had a triple header on Saturday to get the momentum started. And then take over the rest of the month of February, which is nothing going on. But now here you go. You're starting on the weekend of the Sweet 16 Elite 8. Tomorrow night at TDECU Stadium, where the University of Houston is, the Houston Cougars will be playing their Sweet 16 game. So, between that, the two coaches, this rumored player strike, which I guess Fox has already said they'll put on repeat episodes of the Masked Singer if it doesn't go through. This is not a good way to start the year. Listen. I've been putting off doing videos because I didn't want to be negative, but we're 22 hours away. You have to address the issues now. I'm sorry. So the Houston Roughnecks will be going against their college opponents, the Houston Cougars. Between that, they say ticket sales everywhere have been piss poor. Gee, I can't imagine why. Alabama just won their game, so they'll be playing Sunday for the East Regional Final. And I think Auburn plays tonight, so if they win tonight, they'll be playing their regional final also on Sunday, going against the Birmingham Stallions at DC. Now, getting back to the championship game, so we have Arlington, Houston, Memphis, and Birmingham are too hot to host the game. Okay. DC would have been the obvious answer, but there's a conflict of schedule with the World Cup. It's not even the World Cup. I think it's a World Cup qualifier or a World Cup exhibition game, because the World Cup doesn't come here till 2026. So that they were out, and that would have been the obvious choice this year to have the championship game. A 20,000 seat stadium with a good fan base. They would have filled that stadium. So that's 5 of the 8 cities that can't do it. Ford Field, they say, is too expensive. The most expensive of the most venues, so they want to host it there. So now you're back down to San Antonio and St. Louis. So they decided to give it to St. Louis. But after I saw last year being at the championship game, I thought the worst thing that happened to the league last year was St. Louis not winning their semifinal playoff game at home. Because, one, I think it would have been a better game against the Birmingham Stallions, and that crowd would have been awesome. That crowd went from being awesome to basically lacking a pulse. I mean, people tell it because it was a championship game, but man, there was a drop-off in what could have been a good attendance and a good TV game. And I'm not going to lie, even though I'm a Defenders fan, I'll be hoping they can beat Birmingham on Sunday. I'm going to hold my breath. For the sake of the league, I would like to see St. Louis make it a championship game. Andy Beck is back. Unfortunately, A.J. McCarron is gone, which is a big loss for the league. A.J. was one of the faces of the league. So we got some obstacles to overcome this year. And not for nothing, it seems like the obstacles this time around are worse than last year when we had to wait for the approval of the merger. So I'm just going to assume we're playing football tomorrow night despite this threat of a player strike. And that is the worst thing that could happen. I mean, for you players out there, you really think this is a good idea? When you know that the league is losing money and they're hurting? I mean, you guys are acting like the WNBA females. But at least they have the NBA subsidizing them. There ain't no one subsidizing you guys. I think you guys should just enjoy the time playing football, get some updated film. Because if this league goes down, you'll be relying on the old film again. So once again, St. Louis will start their season on the road. I see them beating Houston. The only big change I see for St. Louis is at quarterback. I think they'll beat Houston. I'm not really impressed with the Houston Roughnecks team. I see them winning. I think the game of the weekend is actually on Saturday afternoon with San Antonio and Arlington. Texas shootout. Bob Stoops is back. Luis Perez is back. Wade Phillips is back. That, I think, is the game of the weekend right there. That'll be at Choctaw Stadium. Hopefully, with Texas Tech, I think they play tonight. That could be a rain turner also. Well, I mean, that's why I don't understand the start of this weekend. But I'm going to take Luis Perez to win the home game over the San Antonio Brahmas. And of course, we have a doubleheader Sunday, the Michigan Panthers against the Memphis Showboats. I am taking the Michigan Panthers. They return a strong team this year. They're still not good at quarterback, but, against this Memphis team with Wisenhunt, I'm going to take the Panthers. And, of course, Sunday with Reggie Barlow abandoning ship. And the Birmingham Stallions looking strong as ever. We'll get Alex Magoo back. Now, we could see a four-peat this year. But I'm going with the Stallions over my Defenders. I still may go down the game. We'll see. I was hoping to go down next week's game, but something came up, so that didn't happen for me. So I'm going to try to make it down this Sunday. So you guys let me know what you think. I'm frustrated. I know a lot of my diehard spring football fans are frustrated. I am looking forward to tomorrow night so we just talk football for once. Not all this crap we've had to deal with. But we need to maintain strong TV ratings, and hopefully it get better this year. And we need the attendance to increase. I'm not going to lie, we need to see St. Louis in the championship game. This is coming from the Defenders fans. I'm just looking out for the what's best for the league. We need to generate money. We need to give a good TV appearance. And unfortunately, the only way for that to happen, we need to see the Battlehawks in the championship game. I will repeat, the worst thing that happened last year was St. Louis losing that conference title game. It killed the league and it killed the championship. All right, fans. I'll be back tomorrow night, early Saturday morning, to recap of the Friday night game. We'll talk about the Saturday game that Saturday morning also. And you all have a good night.